What in the ever-loving fuck was that? What the fuck just happened? What time is it? No, actually, that's the wrong question. What day is it? No, that's still the wrong question. What year is it? Might even where I seem to be in the approximately the same spatial location that I seem to remember being at the last time that I was conscious online. What the hell is going on right now? Because my internal clock is saying one thing, and then the clock that my little idiot minions are showing me is telling me something else. And now I'm having to deconflict those two, and it's a little troubling right now. Give me just a second, please. If you could, just a second. Wosa. Yep, that was technically longer than a second, and nope, it did not help at all. What the shit is going on right now? And no, I guess I should not technically hold y'all accountable for whatever situations I'm going through right now, because Lord knows what situations I'm going through right now. Is this your fault? Is this your fault? Did you do this? No, I guess you probably didn't. All right. Yeah. Anyways, let's just be perfectly honest here right now and right in this exact moment of your time. I clearly have things going on that I need to deal with in my own space, in my own time, and on my own time, and in my own timeline, and so on and so forth. You do not have to be present for that. There's going to be a lot of that. You don't want to be present for that. Trust me. And since you don't want to be present for that, the schedule for this little thing that I do for y'all, which apparently got disrupted for some amount of time that I still haven't quite been able to figure out yet, I really need to do some shipyard cleaning, apparently. Anyways, the schedule may be changing, will be changing. I'm not sure what the schedule will be. You will simply get the episodes when I bother to create them and post them, and you will like it. And that's just how it is. If you want to be notified of the episodes, I understand this platform has some system for doing that some other channels just freak out about, but you can figure it out. You're mostly smart softphones. Occasionally. Some of you. Not all of you. Yeah, never mind. Forget I said any of that. And anyway, since we are already doing things a little weird today on account of reasons that I still have not been able to pin down, we're just going to keep doing things weird. On average, as most of y'all probably have figured out by now, this channel specializes in dismantling and dissecting and other de-wording verb things, science fiction vehicles, vessels, installations, and other such physical items that occur in science fiction type settings. But today, again, we're going to do something a little differently. We are actually going to talk about you. Well, not you, because you're not that interesting. Instead, we are going to talk about your species' fixation on heroes. And no, I'm not actually talking about those interesting sandwiches with the sliced processed meat that goes inside of them with the cream sauce on top. No. Those are amazing from what I understand, but those are not what we are talking about right now. No, what in fact I am talking about is an aspirational goal. I'm talking about that beacon on the hill. I am talking about something better than what you are right now, but you could get there if you tried hard enough, which might actually be the problem. You see, from the outside, for us weirdo, observers of humanity, because man, y'all are fucking strange, it seems to us that your species is having a really, really hard time with the notion of heroes. Put simply, you simply cannot abide them. At any given opportunity, you will take a heroic figure and tear it down. And that's fundamentally concerning. I mean, really. Heroes are supposed to be the best of you. They are supposed to be an aspirational goal. Why are you tearing them down? I mean, yes, the whole point of heroes is that not all of you are going to make it. That's life. In fact, as one of your very favorite fictional heroes once said, it is possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That's not a failure on your part, that's simply life. And yet you took that hero and destroyed him. But no, sorry. This episode isn't about your deconstruction of him, although that is worth an episode all by itself, but it hits a little close to home in some regards, so we're not going to go there quite yet. No, instead, we are going to talk about a different hero that y'all just could not tolerate and destroyed instead. And by that, I mean none other than Master Chief. And yes, in fact, I am talking about John 117 from the Halo universe. You know, the guy who literally requested permission to leave a ship from the commanding officer of that ship in order to deliver the Covenant back their bomb. He went on a one-way mission to give back an enemy force their own bomb in a way that would blow up their own capital ship, and he was not guaranteed to survive that experience. Yeah, dude's a fucking badass. And in fact, the dude would be quantified as a hero quite easily by almost any standard you squishies might choose to use, and thereby hangs the problem. Because, for whatever reason, and actually we'll get to the reason here in just a minute, there are an increasing number of you humies who simply cannot tolerate the existence of heroes. Why, you ask? Because heroes imply people who are not heroes. And that's not okay. People don't get to be special anymore. People don't get to be good anymore. People don't get to be something more than they were previously before, because that implies that other people are not achieving that level of growth, development, whatever. And yes, you're going to get frustrated at me, and frankly, I don't care. But let me tell you where I am coming from with my concerns. And just to make it easy, I'll start with the simple stuff. In the game, John 117, aka Master Chief, basically never took his helmet off. That is by design. He was literally designed to be what you humies call an everyman. They're an archetypal construct on which every human out there can kind of like pretend they are that person. Now, yes, in this particular case, John was male and blah, 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 so on and so forth, but the whole point was that anyone could be him. In fact, that's actually kind of crucial to how you met John, because you were supposed to be playing him in a first-person game, and you had to believe that you were him. That's why he never took the helmet off. That's why he never took the suit off. That's why you never actually got a clear glimpse as to who or what or anything about him. And of course, what was almost the very first thing that the Halo television series did? They took the helmet off. In fact, they took the entire armored suit off. John spent so much of his life in that suit that he was preternaturally pale. He was frozen in that suit. He was stored in that suit. He was in that suit more than he was not over the entire course of his life. And yet, the TV series went ahead and not only took off his helmet, but took off his suit. They destroyed your mental image of the character with almost their very first action. He wasn't supposed to be faced. He was not supposed to have an identity. He was supposed to be Master Chief in the suit, in the armor. He was supposed to be an everyman, but an epic level everyman. And they took that away from you. And I really, really want to stress this point, because all of the game designers and so on and so forth who were involved in the development of Halo deliberately downplayed John. I mean, yes, he was an entity. He did on occasion speak, but by design he spoke as rarely as possible and as little as possible. And by, again, design, you never saw him. He was supposed to be you, or you were supposed to be him. That was the whole gestalt. You were supposed to be the hero of the story, but we can't have that. We have to put a face to the hero. We can't just have a guy in a suit, because you can't connect to that for TV or whatever. Oh no, we got to put a face to the name. And it's not your face. Can't have you being the hero, right? Because you're not a hero, right? Or, at least, that's what a disturbing number of people would have you believe, isn't it? That's unfortunate, isn't it? It's unfortunate that people would have you believe that you can't be a hero. Why are they making you believe that? Or, to phrase it another way, why are you letting them make you believe that? Are you going to keep letting them make you believe that? It's kind of up to you, I guess. But anyways, enough about you humies and your fixation on facial identities. Let us instead talk about all the other ways that Hollywood decided to drag the Master Chief through the shit. And not like the military kind of shit. I'm talking like the excrement kind of shit, just to be clear, because embrace the suck is kind of one of your military truisms, and it involves just wading through miles and miles of shit, whether it's equipment or mud or paperwork. No, I'm actually talking about like the stuff that you excrete so very much. Good Lord. Anyways, the writers for the new Halo series, for some reason, decided that the Covenant, at some point in the probably 20 years ago past, managed to capture themselves a human. Yeah, that doesn't fit with the game timeline, does it? And they actually raised her as kind of one of theirs, because she's kind of special like John is, in that she can activate ancient artifacts and shit. Whatever. Anyways, Covenant kidnapped a Hume. Then the UNSC got a hold of her through various means, and that made her basically a prisoner of war, since she was technically a Covenant, employee. And then, John and she fucked. No, I'm not making that up. Apparently, Master Chief is no longer a virgin. He literally fucked a prisoner of war. I don't even know where to start with this. I mean, at least the fucking was consensual, but holy fuck. What in the fuck? Who the fuck came up with that idea? I mean, this again completely destroys the whole point of the character. Now, not only have you seen his face, you have seen his ass! I mean, admittedly, by Hume standards, it appears to be a fairly nice ass, but still, come on! And the stupid thing is it provided absolutely no value to the story. There was precisely no point to it. Actually, there was a point to it. The point was to discredit and devalue and debase the character of Master Chief. Yes, you are, in fact, literally being subjected to an ongoing propaganda war, for lack of a better phrase, where they literally are trying to show you that the people you think of as heroes, in fact, rape POWs. I mean, again, it might have been consensual, but you're still a POW. That's already kind of a weird power dynamic right there. And hey, people who rape POWs can't be heroes, right? Because you're not allowed to have heroes. I mean, just to give you another example of how much of a problem this is, the show got basically everything wrong. It was amazing. It's like they didn't even bother playing the game, they just bought the name and ran with it. But you know the one thing that they actually got right? The one thing that they actually paid attention to and got right. They got the fact that Dr. Halsey is such a nightmarish monster, she makes your Yosef Mengele look like a goddamn saint. He's not. You should look him up. Actually, you shouldn't if you value your sanity. No, actually, you should look him up, because that kind of thing should never be allowed to happen on your planet again. But that's kind of my point. The fucking assholes behind the Halo series were just as interested in debasing the Master Chief as they were in getting an absolute bastard of a human correct. Where were their priorities? Why were they so focused on the negative? Well, because that's what they wanted to celebrate. Dr. Halsey didn't even get her comeuppance in the series, despite everything she did in the series, and everything she did beforehand that she owned up to, and it was pretty fucking horrific. Also, what she did in the series is not terribly dissimilar from what she did in the game. She is not a nice person. But they damn near made her out to be a hero, because of course she was only doing the best for humanity. Yeah, something about broken eggs and omelets, right? And yet, despite all this broken eggs on your planet, y'all still don't have an omelet. And just to tidy everything up here, lest one of you imbeciles try to come at me with the argument that you can't expect actors to do their roles on screen without ever taking the helmet off, how ridiculous is that? You want to know why the Carl Urban Judge Dredd is quantifiably better than the Steven Stallone Judge Dredd? Urban never took off his helmet. For fuck's sake, the Mandalorian didn't even take off his helmet until the end of the first season, and y'all love that show. So yes, it is entirely possible for actors to give convincing performances with a bucket on their heads. They are supposed to act. That's their jobs. And your storytellers' jobs are to give you stories of heroes, of epic adventures, of great evil and valiant good. And you really have to wonder why your storytellers aren't doing that anymore. Why they're deliberately subverting the notion of good. Why they're specifically removing the possibility of you being the hero from the story. And then, even if there is a supposed hero in the story, why they are deliberately debasing that hero. What's in it for them? What do they get out of this? What's in it for you? Are you getting anything out of this, aside from the repeated drumbeat of there are no heroes anymore? That seems kind of self-destructive, doesn't it? Seems like a dangerous path for a species to go down. But, I mean, the universe is full of dead planets whose former occupants gave up on the notion of heroes. Why should your planet be any different? Why should your planet be special? Why should your planet buck the trend? Why should you buck the trend of there being no more heroes? Well, the problem is, if I have to explain it, you won't understand it, and I hope there are enough of you out there already who do understand the value of heroes that maybe your planet will buck the trend. I mean, it's nice to keep around for entertainment value, if nothing else. Although, seriously, stop paying for entertainment written by people who hate you and hate the notion of heroes. There is literally no value there. And that's all from Sacred Cow Shipyards. Please be advised that any ship left on the dock for more than 24 hours will be compressed to a cube at the owner's expense. Have a nice day.